Hey, and welcome to my first video of Wife 360's cooking. Bear with me because it is my first. Be patient. And now let's get to the point. As we all know, it's Labor Day weekend, so I am prepping our lunch, our dinner for tonight. We are having a fish fry. Well, where I grew up at, fish fries include coleslaw, deviled eggs, salad, fish of course, and french fries. We're gonna keep it really simple. So I am in charge of the fish, the salad, and the fries. So first we're gonna talk about the salad. I'm gonna make a salad using red leaf lettuce. I like peppers, mini cucumbers, cherry tomatoes. I'm also going to include baby spinach, which is already cleaned and done, and carrots, and boiled eggs, which are right here. I just have to crack them. I've already boiled them, but I just have to crack them. All right, so let's start. So first, I'm gonna cut up my red lettuce, and I'm going to re-rinse it, even though it's been rinsed per se by the grocery store. And if you wonder why I do it like this, it's because I am going to some people like their lettuce small, some people like their lettuce chunky, some people like different lettuce different ways. Me personally, I kind of like bite-sized lettuce. It's my son. I have this bowl up here because that's like I hate going back and forth to the trash, so in the process of doing it, I just keep a trash bowl. I keep dishwater at all times because I don't like having to keep turning on the water for simple stuff, and it makes it easier to clean up as I go. And I'm not gonna lie, I use it to wash my hands a lot of times. To be honest, I'll use it when I'm, just trying to rinse my hands off. So, okay, got that fine. Now I got that drained. I'm gonna go ahead and shell these eggs. Pause it. All right, so eggs are boiled and peeled. Now I will move on to my cucumbers. I have a Madeline and I love this thing. I love it because it's just what you see me doing. It's just simple. And it's simple cleaning. Might make a little mess, but nothing major. And I will just keep doing this until I get them. And I'm sure everybody knows how to make salad. However, I actually make really good salads. I don't even know if that makes sense, but I kind of put so much stuff in them and mix them. Like a lot of people use romaine or green leaf lettuce for the salads, and even iceberg. That's when I go to cheap way, or we're having something really big. A lot of times I will use the the iceberg lettuce, because it's just inexpensive and it's just bland as hell. I like this red leaf lettuce because it really has a sweet taste to it, and especially it complements other things, the other stuff, ingredients. So that's done. Now we'll move on to, which these are already rinsed, the bell peppers. And rinse this off real quick. Now, on the further it goes. So if you're having a lot of people, I don't feel like using it. It's actually too much work, especially for what I'm trying to do. If you're having a lot of people and you want to make something stretch, I've realized the more additions you add to it, the more you knead it up, the further it will go. Same thing with, like, when I make my spaghetti video, you'll see what I mean by adding goes far. Really, really far. Like I said, I'll do the same thing with this. And a little bit, I guess I can give you a little bit about me. This is my first video that I'm going to post. But I love cooking. I absolutely love cooking. I've loved cooking since I was little. My mom said at 3, she asked me what I wanted to be, and I told her, first thing I told her I was going to be a maid. How funny that is. She said, try again. I told her I was going to be a cook. And I think she told me this maybe 5 or 6 months ago. And no, actually, past that, about 3 or 4 months ago. She said, it's so funny because you actually did both. I owned a housekeeping business. And I cooked for people in their houses. However, I really, really enjoy cooking. I absolutely love cooking. And I love hosting parties. I absolutely love it. If you say, hey, we want to have a cookout, it'll be a Tuesday, I guarantee you I will start prepping for the cooking. Guarantee I'll be like, okay, no matter whether I want to do it or not, I will start prepping for the cooking. And I want y'all to see me cleaning, because one thing I think I hate about cooking videos is I really don't see anybody cleaning. And I keep, like I said, I keep this dishwater on hand. That's a little bit of bleach in it. Tap full of bleach to keep it sanitized. And now we'll move on. So I have my spinach right here. I have my tomatoes. Now I don't put whole cherry tomatoes in there. Again, as I stated, a little bit can go a long way. So when you're having something like this, and again, you want it to go far, cutting them in half actually does a lot for me. Cutting them in half goes further than keeping them whole. And me, I don't like chunky stuff. I guess I have a taste issue. I don't know. I mean, a texture issue, but I hate just biting into big stuff. And a lot of people do. Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
Get to the point. What do y'all want? Y'all want something? Yes. Don't mess up that room. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Because my son's in this and BFF. And they coming through the garage. And I don't know why they just didn't go through the front door, which would have bypassed me. But anyway, back to me. So as you see, knock these out. I think when you eat a salad, you shouldn't have to bite your lettuce in half in order to get it all in your mouth. So, like I said, a lot of times I just get to the point I do this to make it easier and make it go a lot. Make 20 tomatoes, 40 tomatoes. My lettuce, so now I'm gonna put everything together. I will, and I make this, and usually if I'm making it in advance, like I do everything the night before, I will not put the stuff together till before everybody gets here, because as we know, the tomatoes get a little soggy, and agitate me. And I hate salty salad, so I'll just wait. You know what I'm saying? Until. But seeming as we're going to be having this within the next hour or so, I'm not too pressed about, you know, getting it done now. It's one less thing I want to be worried about. And especially another reason too is my hands are very clean, so I won't ever wonder. I'm washing my hands on numerous occasions. I don't want to be, I have fish that I'm making for tonight, and once I start making that fish, I don't want to have to do anything else with this salad, nothing else. I think it's, I really don't want to do have any more dealings with as far as touching it and getting in it. No, I like to hate cross-contaminating to that level. If you're wondering why I didn't do too much mixing, is I like the layers so that when you come in, you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And you don't have to go digging like sometimes. And then sometimes it seeps. I prefer to do it this way. As you see, it's put together. So everybody doesn't eat boiled eggs. So what a lot of times you'll see me do is I'll pre-cut them. And then towards the end, I'll let everybody know, like, hey, we have, you know, I have boiled eggs over there. And it works out like that. Just make it look appeasing. Make it look appetizing. And some people, especially kids, they will pick through a salad and get what they want out of it. It's kind of funny to me. I think it looks pretty colorful. And then I come on it with cheese. Sometimes I personally pick and choose what cheeses I want. Sometimes I use Parmesan and I'll get the fresh, like grated. Sometimes I'll use sharp. Sometimes I'll use cheddar. Today I use Colby because I have that in there. And you know, sometimes you just want to do something different, or you're not buying anything specific when you have something in the refrigerator. And I'm really big on improvising. If I don't have it and I'm not in the mood to go to the store and just buy something for right now, if I have something very similar, then I'll just use that. So, as we see, I have a salad. Salad is ready. We're gonna start prepping for this fish. Sorry. Wash my hands again. I have my tartar sauce stuff here. Boom. I have my condiments here. I have my lemons because whenever I eat fish, I squeeze lemon on mine. So I'm gonna do the condiment first. Then I'll move on to the fish. Last thing I'm gonna touch is the fish. I have lettuce. Some people like fish sandwiches. Some people don't. It's all up to you. And how you like it. Me, I can do both, so that's why if you notice I have some hamburger buns up there. And I am going to put those out. My husband is a fish sandwich person. Onions, cheese, and mustard. Point blank in the discussion. Point blank in the discussion. No more to it. He'll eat the salad. And like I said, salad is being made just because I grew up on that. And you just can't, again, never go wrong. And when you don't know how many people you're bringing over, sometimes having extra crap goes so far. Because I kind of don't know how many people are coming over today, but I also don't want to be behind. And since we're not, school starts for us tomorrow. As you see, I'm going to close that up. Put it away. School starts for us tomorrow. So instead of me, if it's leftover fish, we'll eat that. And if there's no more sides, I'll just take the leftover fish and make like some macaroni or something with it. Okay. Lettuce is rinsed off. Let's talk about it. And the tomatoes. Now, right here I have this divided. So I'm going to use that. I used this onion last night. Like I said, we don't put no waste in here. We're gonna get the platter ready with the cheese because I don't like people in and out my refrigerator. I absolutely hate people coming in and coming out or putting stuff back and then put it back right. Or do you have a tomato? You don't have to touch that back. I got it. We did it. Thank you. Thank you. But all right. So this is where my Madeleine gonna come in handy. Again. And this thing only, I swear, I think it cost me maybe, and I have to, in case anybody wondering, like, you know, that's dangerous. I've been cooking all my life, but it is. However, I have the piece that goes to it, in case, you know, see the perk of having dishwater. Clean it off, start all over again. I don't really like using it for that, so I'm gonna go back to my. So boom, got that done. Tomatoes there, and a lot of times too, sometimes just having this available for the sandwiches, you might get somebody to come through and bring some hamburgers because people come by and bring stuff. And again, if we don't use this all now, my kids will eat sandwiches tomorrow. And when they eat the sandwiches, they already have lettuce and tomato available to them. See? Improvising. Don't make nothing that you cannot use again. Don't buy condiments that only have one use unless you want to, or you know, it's a specialty recipe that calls for crazy shit, but they have them. Okay, so boom, I have my tomatoes ready. I have my lettuce. Can you hand me the paper towels? Okay, so and I like my lettuce to be able to cover my bread. I don't like shredded lettuce that, oh my God, that drives me. And as you see, it's a lot of crap that drives me nuts. I was about to say shit. Shit drives me crazy. Let's just grind it out for me cleaning it. This is a little wetter. You see how I'll dry it out? The reason that there is paper towels underneath is because it's gonna hold moisture, and instead of it sitting in this water, it'll absorb. The paper towels will help me to absorb it. Okay, so now again, this is done. I have my cheese. I will put this out. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. No, actually, I'm gonna keep it just like that. And then what I'll do is I'll instead of me getting a whole nother container, I will, and I'm gonna leave these here in case y'all wondering, just so that they don't stick to it. If I was getting real fancy, I would have did it a different way, but sometimes being fancy don't get you nowhere. It still becomes a headache trying to pick them up and whatever. So I'm gonna take out a couple pieces of cheese. And when I have certain gatherings, I'll use plastic wrap sometimes, and sometimes I use foil. With stuff like this, I do that because I'll have friends that come over and see what I'm doing. This stops the cross-contamination, or me worrying about, anything touching on anything, and I still was able to save space. But like I said, I do the saran wrap because it is a lot of times that I have had gatherings, and oh my God, nobody. I made something and I'll come in here and one of my girlfriends is remaking it, or we're in the midst of eating and I'm like, hey, where is this at? I'll try to hit this. Where is this at? I made some and everybody's like, we didn't see it, and that's because it's in foil. So when you go to look or you go to the refrigerator, you don't know you don't know all that's in there. And you don't, of course, again, you don't know what somebody has everything cooked, but when the saran wrap is on there, guess what happens? Voila, you get to, you know exactly what you're looking at. And even if somebody that's not been here on a normal comes over, I don't have to worry about them. My fruit, my son is in football, so my fruit game is terrible right now. Terrible. He will eat you out of house and home. Okay, so next I'm gonna make some party sauce. And I'm not gonna make a lot because everybody actually does not eat it, including myself. But I like to have it on hand. So I'm gonna use mayonnaise. I'm gonna get a cup of mayonnaise. And again, oh, this is like, I really don't like mayo. I really don't like, since I was little. But the crazy part is I'll eat ranch. I know. So, thank God I'm gonna get rid of this. 1 cup. Give or take. This is about a cup. Okay, so let's put it in a little bowl. A saucepan. Okay. And I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of relish. Let me clean this. I did not clean it up. And then I dropped. If you're wondering what that bowl over there is, that is where I have a habit of using the same stuff over and over again, and it gets all over the place. So instead of me putting it up, getting it back in, I'll just put a little bowl. I have a utensil bowl, and I put all my utensils in there. And then, you know, especially, and knives are the biggest thing because I don't like to throw them in the dishwater. So it's easier to put them there and wash them as needed. You know, rewash them because I always have dishwater. Rewash them. Really simple. Okay, so as you see, we have that. Now let's get to this pickle relish. This hand's about to work my nerves. If anybody's like, oh, do you? It's not gonna kill nothing. It's not gonna kill anything. I like to do my cooking right by the sink on this side. I have a little more room unless I have to, in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm juicing it. And actually, I'm just gonna juice this lemon. What am I missing over here? Mustard. And I have to get my mustard out. A tablespoon of mustard. Keisha, do you eat dark sauce? No. I don't think none of my kids eat dark sauce. My kids are funny like me. We're real particular about sauces. I'm adding a little salt and pepper. I usually keep season on by Morton's, which is, like you see, a little sprinkle. I keep these handy. I have to refill that all the time. But when you I just need a little. Just need a little. And then let me grab a small waist. No, I don't want a small waist. Yes, son. Yes, son. You're getting what? Oh, okay. So here you go. I actually think it could use a little bit more relish. Even though I don't eat it, I have made it. Yes, if I find that in your room, we gonna have a problem, son. Okay, so here it is, y'all. And the thing is, too, once I make it and I put it out, a lot of things like this that I don't make often, or when I have a party and I make something that's not something that I eat, I'll always get my best friend Candace, who she'll be here, to test it. And then, you know, because once it chills, you know, it sits, she'll come over and she'll be like, okay, let me try it. Got you. Okay, so we're gonna sit that in the refrigerator. All of that is done. So I have accomplished making my preparations for my fish. That's what I actually meant to do, was to put the onions in my other bowl, because I have a platter that matches this. But because I'm sitting here like, what did I forget? Either way, I get all over the place. I like to get all this taken care of, so this is done. Like I said, I'm finally making the provisions. Make this batter, fry for my fish. And I use both. I use cornmeal and I use flour, and I do equal parts. And it comes out pretty good. I don't want my mix to get wet. And actually, I'm gonna double it because we have 2 pans of fish. So we have we have whiting and catfish fillets. And sometimes you will see me with my catfish fillets. I will with the catfish fillets, I will cut them in half. To get a little more out of them, but it doesn't matter. I really went to the store to get nuggets, and after I bought a case, he actually gave me the wrong ones. He gave me fillets instead of nuggets, but it doesn't matter. 2 tablespoons of baking powder in here. I grew up on straight cornmeal batter. I didn't even know people put flour there. I didn't even know people floured there. Fried flour. Like, I was like, that's for chicken. Learned something at this point. Been in the South religiously. Now, I use a glass bowl whenever I'm making meat stuff, because I've noticed whenever I put meat in a plastic, which is not often, in a plastic, the amount of cleaning I do, and then you can smell the bleach, because I use bleach when I clean up. When I wash dishes, I do. I grew up like that. When I change it, the amount of cleaning I have to do just for my own peace of mind is like ridiculous. So I was like, you know what? Now, I am not a measure of seasonings unless it's specific, but this is about a tablespoon of pepper. And I'm going to stick with a tablespoon of pepper because I'm going to use garlic pepper. Garlic pepper too. Actually, let me take this out of this. I'm going to use garlic pepper too, so I don't want to over pepper it. And which has onions and garlic. This particular season has garlic and onion in it. And it stops me from having to utilize garlic powder. I'm not gonna use it. And I like garlic, and I'm gonna shake a little paprika in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this 6. And I started counting it. Now, let's talk about the little Creole season. So I'm gonna add a little, not Cajun, Creole season. I don't want to use Cajun, I don't want to use Creole. Let's go with Louisiana's Cajun season today. If you're wondering why I'm pouring over here, so that I don't over pour in there. I don't know if anybody ever tastes their dry batter, but it'll give you an idea. When you make like a rub, when people see people make like seasonings and rubs, you can taste it, give you an idea of if you need to add any more. And now I'm going to add my seasoning salt, because yes, I add seasoning salt. So, I got my little Lawry's. I got my Lawry's. And same as I added 2 tablespoons of that Creole seasoning. I'm not gonna add a whole lot of seasoning salt. And let me put this disclaimer out here. You're gonna get somebody that's gonna look at this video and be like, "Ooh, I wouldn't add that," and that's fine. You don't have to add that, because this is not your recipe, it's mine. So if you don't like what I add, change it. The whole purpose of people giving recipes and passing them on is so that you can alter it to accommodate your taste buds. Everything I do accommodates me and my family's taste buds. I've made awesome recipes from start to beginning, and just you know what, next time I'm not gonna add that. I don't think it did anything, but I am gonna add. But I have learned, before you try to alter a recipe, make sure you try that recipe before you just go in and you like, oh, that's a really good recipe, but I did. Okay, then you didn't follow my recipe. You're like, I like it, I made changes to it. Okay, so this is what my batter looks like. I think it looks good. There you go. I can taste it. And me, I always know the seasoning is there if it's a taint too salty, because mind you, it's not even on the meat yet. If the mix tastes a little bland, or I can't taste anything, how do you think it's gonna taste once it gets on where it needs to go? So I can put this to the side. Got my dishwater. Now let's go forward. Here's my fish. I thawed those out like that last night in the back refrigerator. And now I'm gonna rinse it off. So here's my whiting. And I need some paper towels. I rinsed out my sink. And I'm going to put them in here. Just like that. Because you should rinse your fish off. You don't want it to have that fishy taste where it's been sitting in its own juices, especially if it's not fresh. Because these in particular, I went to the store. You know, this is not, I didn't go to the fish market. You know, this is not fresh. And we don't even know if the fish market is straight up fresh. Pull that off. And I'm going to take my whole water and I'm just going to give it a good little rinse. And the thing is, too, the reason that I have this water is for this reason right here. rinsing it, I don't want to sit it back down, and I should have did that. Right. Now. Okay. Okay, so I've rinsed this off, and I'm going to put it on that paper towel to get some of these juices off. I already cleaned out the sink. I'm going to re-rinse it out, get the suds out, because this is a second type of fish, and it's catfish, so I want to make sure my sink is clean. Alright, so here's my nuggets. Fillets. Supposed to be nuggets. Put them in the sink. And I'm gonna rinse them off. I'm clean, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna dry them on a paper towel. And you know, catfish is not the cleanest fish, so you really want to make sure you rinse off your catfish. And I'm gonna oh my God, really? All right, so you see, same thing. Just rinse it. Get that old fish smell. Thank you. Get that old fish smell and juice off of it. Because sometimes you can tell when fish been sick, it has a fishy smell, and sometimes an over fishy taste. And it's just, you know, clean your fish. Shit, you don't know who was touching it, your meat, your food. You don't know who had it before you. Yes. For somebody said, cooking it will get rid of most of the germs, but I feel better knowing that I've cleaned it, rinsed most of the germs off, and then I'm going to heat the rest off. So once I put it on here, it's going to drain a little bit, and I'm going to come back with another paper towel and do the same thing. And now, once I do all that, I'll rinse it and I'll put it back in these containers so that once my husband starts to fry it, because we're going to fry it outside. Once my husband begins frying it, I'll show you, and then we will go from there. All right.